My question is to the Deputy Prime Minister. What are the difficulties the Albanese Labor government has faced in the defence portfolio, and what difficult decisions are being made as a result?
The call to the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Today, the Albanese government has concluded negotiations for a historic defence cooperation agreement with Indonesia. In February, our government announced a complete restructure of our Navy, which saw the first of a new class of surface combatants enter into our fleet this decade. Last year, we restructured the Army. Next year, we will see the beginnings of the manufacture of guided weapons in Australia. The Defence Strategic Review has completely reassessed our strategic circumstances and has reshaped our defence force, and most importantly, these decisions have been funded by record increases in defence spending over the forward estimates and over the decade. And, Mr Speaker, all of this has happened in just 2 years. The contrast between the actions of the Albanese government and the vaudeville and hoopla which we saw from those opposite could not be more stark. Now, the Shadow Minister for Defence has said that he wants to see—
Order. No, members on my right. Member for Blair. Order. Members on my right will cease rejecting. The member for Canning is entitled, just like any other member is entitled, to raise a point of order. Member for Canning has the call.
Yeah, thanks, Mr Speaker. It was on relevance. There was no alternative approaches mentioned in the question, and Happy Gilmore here has just gone nuts.
No, resume your seat. Resume your seat. That remark is not necessary to make. A reflection on a member is not appropriate. We are not having question time where people put digs into each other unnecessarily. Order. We're just going to hear from the Leader of the House.
Thanks, Speaker. Just on the issue of relevance, the question went specifically at the start to the difficulties that are being faced in the defence portfolio, and those difficulties are the Minister is clearly drawing to the legacy we inherited. It makes it completely relevant.
The Minister is entitled to talk about the difficulties, but he simply can't have the remainder of his answer regarding criticism in order to make it relevant to government policy, which I'm sure he will do. The Deputy Prime Minister has the call.
The Shadow Minister of Defence has said he wants to see a dramatic increase in defence capability by 2026, but he cannot even secure agreement within his own ranks to support Labor's increase in defence spending. And what makes it worse is that those opposite, when they are in government, chronically underfunded defence, an underfunding of defence which under them would not have seen new amphibious craft for our Army until the 2030s, or a new surface combatant for our Navy until 2034, or the manufacture of guided weapons until 2035. And what made it even worse was that they were completely incapable of making a difficult decision. I mean, they were elected in 2013. Having changed their mind twice, it was not until 2021 that they settled on the successor submarine to the Collins class, and even then they were saved by the fact that they were thrown out of government 7 months later before they could change their mind again. And underwriting it all was a complete incompetence that was led by their last Defence Minister, the Leader of the Opposition. Incompetence which saw 7 different Defence Ministers during the course of 9 years. Incompetence which saw 28 different defence projects running a combined 97 years over time. Well, Mr Speaker, that has all changed because in the last 2 years the Albanese government has been making the decision to do what it takes to rebuild our defence force and to keep Australians safe.